Sports are more than just a competition and a trophy. Sports are a portal for everyday people to pursue their wildest dreams on some of the world's largest stages. My name is Riley Sager, and I'll be taking you along with me as I hear from SBC and VSL alumni who pursued a career in the business of sports. In this series, I will sit down with guests to discuss strategies for entering the sports world and what you can do to differentiate yourself in the industry. From playing to coaching to broadcasting, the common denominator for any job in sports is the ability to push oneself to become a master at their craft while connecting with others who share that same passion to be great. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of the SBC Audio Experience. Today, we are thrilled to feature Mohamed Haji, a remarkable 23-year-old SBC alum from Bahrain who is making a major impact in the sports world. Mohamed's journey is truly inspiring. From starting out as a player to now playing a key role in the executive management of the Bahrain Basketball National Team, Mohamed's journey is one of hard work, dedication, and continuous self-improvement. In just 2.5 years, Mohamed has helped the national team rise from 108th to 67th, soon to be ranked 60, in the world rankings, all while closely working with the team's chairman to develop innovative strategies that merge sports and technology. Mohamed's passion for raising the Bahrain's flag high and advancing the sport of basketball through technology is a testament to his dedication and vision. In today's episode, Mohamed shares his journey, his ambitions, and how he's breaking barriers in the sports industry. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this conversation. Mohamed, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I can't wait to get into your sports background, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Thank you so much for your host. It's my pleasure to be here, and let's do it.
Okay, Mohamed, you're 23. You were attending SBC this past summer, but you work as the assistant of the national team chair for the Bahrain Basketball Association. So kind of talk me through your upbringing in sports and what that scene was like, the basketball scene, your environment growing up.
Actually, I started in basketball career as a player since I was young. And then I had some problems, not with the playing, is with the release and these things. I got a chance to learn more about stats and analysis. From there, I moved step by step as an admin to manager to the assistant of the national team chairman for 3 years now. I'm working as assistant of the chairman since 2021, October. Actually, this is not only you saying this as a 23 years old, but I mean all Bahrain, they are talking about this. So how 23-year-old guy is being assistant of the national team chairman, young person. Maybe people will say that I don't have that. I don't have the big experience, but we had a tournament recently, and I showed everyone what I did as an assistant of the national team chair. So it's something hard and difficult. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. I'm 23 years old, as you mentioned, and I'm in university. It's my last year. So between studying, between working assistant of the national team chairman, between working closely with the national team itself, it's not also about the chairman, it's about how to manage the teams. We have 3 national teams, we have youth programs, development, so it's a bit hard, but it's an amazing experience.
You mentioned you started out as a player growing up. And then you ended up making that shift to kind of the analytics side. So what skills and what did you embody as a player that you now use in your job now?
I'll be very honest with you. I'm using a lot of, experience that I had with the coaches, because I've been coached from top coaches here in Bahrain as a player. And then when I went to the major of statistics and analysis, I have worked with Coach Sam Vincent. He's an ex-NBA player. I've worked with Coach Dean Murray. He's a coach of D-League, I think. I've worked with coaches from EuroLeagues. So that's all experiences that I've been through since I was a player, to stats, to admin, to manager. The whole experience is being part of my journey as assistant of the chairman to develop the basketball. In addition to that, joining the SBC last year, watching closely how NBA they are operating, how it's working, meeting amazing persons, an SBC who I met. By the way, I met Warren, not Warren. Sorry, yeah, I think his name is Warren, the assistant vice of the Boston Celtics, which he was on the SBC at the same time I met him in Abu Dhabi. He was talking more and more about the experience of NBA. So this all knowledges and experiences is keep the person moving on, because in the real life, we learn every day new thing. So that's it.
You talked about having that relationship with all of the coaches. In any sports position, you need to have those strong relationships that grow over time. So how did you cultivate those as a player, and then when you joined the industry in management?
I believe personally that every single experience, every single thing in basketball is important, from a player to staff being any part in this game, because every part has its own path. I mean, as a player, I was point guard. I played basketball for 4 years. The knowledge of a point guard player is similar to a coach, because the point guard is controlling the court, tactics, moving the team. It's like, let me say, a leader in the court. So that personality as a player moves with me when I go to be as an admin of one of the clubs in Bahrain. This experience moves with me when I go to the national team. The leadership was with me, from the player to an admin to assistant of the chairman. This skill has been doing a big job, with my position. So I believe player to the admin to assistant of the national team chairman is it's being moved by one big skill, such as leadership.
What kind of roles and opportunities have you had in the past few years that allowed you to show those skills?
Oh, a lot of things. Actually, I will speak about 2 big experiences that I had, which really was very tough, and I felt a bit pressured, and I asked even help from the top guys in Bahrain. I mean, either it was an ex-player or ex-staff, or legends in our basketball. Because one of it, before I come to Vegas for SBC course, I was the head of delegation of the senior national team in Puerto Rico, which we were playing pre-Olympics qualifications. Mm-hmm. That position was a very massive for me, because we have a problem here. It wasn't a big problem. We were a bit late in submitting the US visas. So the head of delegation, the actual head of delegation, the manager, the admin, they didn't get a US visa. So I had a US visa. The chairman said, let Mohammed be the head of delegation. So imagine traveling with senior players, which they are 30s, with coaches, with physios, and being the head of delegation. I'm 23 years old. So how am I going to control this team? How am I going to operate with them? What is the way that I'm going to talk to them so they can accept me as a head of delegation? Mm-hmm. Because it's very difficult. Like, they will say, oh, he's a kid can't control me, But as a head of delegation, it's not my, I'm not saying that I was the best, but players, they were saying that this was the best trip we had so far, because it was very smooth, and it was very, friendship. Because I'm 23 years old, I can't tell the players, like, do this, and give them orders, because I'm very young, and I consider them as my big brothers. So what I was doing I'm treating them as a young brother who asking a favor. I was trying to engage as a friend. The head coach and the assistant coaches, they helped me in this part. So that's one experience. I don't want to take a lot of your time. The second experience was the executive director of GCC tournament. Since the day one that the chairman has assigned me this task as executive director, it has been a lot of pressure here in Bahrain. How a 23-year-old person is being the executive director, the CEO of the GCC tournament, the tournament that we have never won for 43 years. So 43 years, this tournament is active. We have never won this tournament as a senior team. We always win it when we are with the youth teams. So the chairman this time said Bahrain is going to host this tournament and Mohamed is going to be the executive director of this tournament, and I want you to lead A to Z. I was like, whoa, that's a big thing. So he told me, okay, you need some help. I said, yes. He said, go to SBC and go to NBA Summer League. So this is the secret behind me joining the SBC and coming and watching the experience of NBA Summer League to learn more about how the operation is going on. At the same time, I learn new things from SBC for the national team development, for Bahrain League development. So this two big experience, and by the way, we won the championship title of the GCC for the first time after 43 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much. This big experience, it means a lot to me. As a 23 years old, to one champion that 43 years no one has been able to bring it home. At the same time, as to bring this championship I have with two positions, assistant of the chairman and the executive director of the tournament. So that's a really big two experience I had.
Wow, that's incredible. Over 40 years, and then you deliver them a win. So you said you had a lot of pressure because of that. You know, you're trying to figure out, how am I going to manage this? How am I going to deal with this? I'm so young. So going into SBC, what was your mentality like?
Nothing is impossible. Even if I'm young, even if I don't have experience, it's like one sentence or one word. Hard work makes the dream work. So I saw how the organization team were working hard in the NBA Summer League. I was actually walking with Warren and Albert. Some of the, or let's say one of the fans, he felt bad experience in NBA Summer League. So the way that Warren was talking to the fan and they make it up for the fan, they give them courtside chair. So he showed me how much the fans, they are really important for this game. And I had I don't want to say one problem, I had a lot of problems with the fans. Where, let me say, the stadium was full pack. Stadium was almost 3,500 spectators, full house. And we had 1,500 fans outside. They want to come in. So here I said, I know now fans how much they mean for this game. I saw it with my eyes in NBA Summer League. I took the chairman to the main door, to the main exit. He was speaking to the security. The security, they said, it's over. We cannot bring people inside. It's going to be difficult for us as a security to manage this. And I told them that I will take the responsibility. So we let the fans to be 5,000 in the stadium.
Wow.
The stadium of 3,500, we allowed fans to enter of 5,000 as a total. And that was for the final game. So I took that responsibility. I mean, I'm talking with you as executive director of the tournament. If you want me to talk about SBC, only SBC, the way that team managers, they are operating, the way that stats and analysis, they showed us how to work on that part. the media thing, the copyright, the agency, this all were part of my journey for this tournament as an assistant of the national team chairman. Because I told you I have 2 positions in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So SBC helped me with the assistant of the national team chairman title. NBA Summer League helped me as executive director of the GCC tournament. So I'm really, blessed that I had the opportunity to come to Vegas and to get experience of these 2 things and come here and execute them on the reality.
That's incredible. I mean, just goes to show there's so many moving parts during Summer League, but that's an example of something that you can't be taught in a classroom, and I think that's one of the main messages is getting hands-on real experience. This was something that was fully applicable to your current job.
Yes, definitely. Because as I told you, the chairman told me, you want to help? Go to Vegas. Mm-hmm. Go get the experience of how they are working. So I was in Vegas, by the way, for 18 days. And before Vegas, I was in Puerto Rico for almost 12 days. So that's a 1 whole month out of the country by myself. So I was it was difficult for me when I went to Vegas because it's my first trip to United States. I've never been in the United States.
Wow.
It was my first time. I always travel to Europe side, but it was difficult for me. I want to thank the SBC, Warren, Albert, and the team for making this. I felt like home, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And the last day, I had tears in my eyes. I don't want to leave. I want to stay more.
I know.
I want to watch more. So when Albert and Warren, they say goodbye, I was like, this is not goodbye. This is the goodbye of a new journey. I'm going to come back
soon
to Vegas. So this whole experience that I get from SBC, the experience I get from NBA Summer League, I have never saw something as this in my life. I've been to Abu Dhabi, NBA Abu Dhabi, for 3 years, back to back. Just before 1 week, we came back. We watched Boston Celtics and Denver Nuggets. So this whole experience, I've never seen it anywhere else. I'm being very honest. And I'm being in contact with Albert and Warren until today. I have a good contact. So still we are chatting, still we are talking. This experience was, big part of the journey that I had in this 1 month as executive director of GCC tournament and assistant of the national team chairman.
That's a very special experience. Thank you for sharing that. I want to touch on, you have an interest in sport and technology, and so how can you see the development of that? But then also you're talking about your travel experience, and this was the first time in the U.S. So how can you explain your perspective on sport, technology on the international stage?
Since I was young, I was trying to do something with basketball and technology. Since I'm very deep involved in technology, I'm studying computer science and cybersecurity. So the NBA level of technology, like the way that they do analysis, the way that they do statistics, we have reached now to a technology that is doing statistics by itself. The camera is doing everything. So we don't need to type, we don't need to enter data. Everything is being monitored. For me, as experience of technology, the things that I saw in NBA, I've never seen them anywhere else. So NBA is always one step ahead of FIBA. FIBA is the organizer of basketball worldwide. And to be honest, here in the Gulf region, we are all going on the same path of FIBA. But when I see that NBA for 30 years, they have and FIBA, they call it IRS, and NBA, what you call it? The video, the recorded video for the referees. Do you have a specific name for it in NBA?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, but in FIBA, it's IRS. So they go back to watch the action if anything happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, the replay system.
Oh, the
replay. NBA, Yeah, the replay system in NBA, it has been there for 40 years, maybe 50 years, I don't know. Long time ago. The FIBA, they did this IRS, the replay system, 3-4 years ago. So we're talking NBA is ahead in technology things. NBA is every day doing a new thing. I've watched the new technology, I forgot the name of it, where there is a cameras and players have chips in their socks and they are monitoring them everywhere on the court. So these technologies they are a big part of the development of the players, of the teams, of everywhere, because numbers don't lie. If we are comparing today, if I go to any meeting, if I go to any podcast or any live, let's say live programs, they ask me, LeBron or Michael Jordan? I said, numbers talks. I don't want to say this guy is dunking, this guy is shooting threes. Numbers, stats, analysis, videos. So technology is taking a big part in the sports field, not only in basketball, in all the sports. For me, technology is going to grow day by day. And I believe that basketball will reach to another level in technology more than any other sports because of the capability that NBA they are working, the development, everything. Because the technology is NBA, they are really focusing in technology, and I think that's the greatest investment, personally.
What responsibilities are you taking on to merge your background? You say you're studying computer science, so not only your experience, but then also your interest in technology, along with your position as assistant to the chairman.
First thing, recently I'm working on a final year project. I'm graduating May 2025 from Manchester.
Congrats.
So my final year project is thank you so much. My final year project is going to be developing a website for the national team, which we're going to connect this website with the statistics and video analysis, at the same time documentary. So this documentary is going to be encrypted because I'm a cyber student. So these informations, such as video analysis, statistics, we don't want other teams to see it online. So how I'm going to protect this as a cyber student? I'm going to encrypt the data where when you see the numbers, when you see the names, when you see the tactics, typing as a text, you won't read it like a normal person, because you need to encrypt or decrypt the data so you can know or understand what the coach is saying. So my final year project is going to be such as this website. At the same time, we signed recently a contract with a company that they fix a camera for live streaming, for statistics and a scoreboard. So we are trying to involve the technology in the basketball here, especially with the national team. And if it works with the national team, we take it to the league. So this is what I'm working recently from technology part. At the same time, the players, they hate me a lot because everything is technology. I don't like paperwork. So if a player, I want to send letter for someone, I send it to the chairman and chairman needs to sign it. So it's easy these days. You have e-signature, you can sign it from your phone, from your laptop, anywhere. So when we sign and I send it to the players say, we want a copy. I said, no more papers in my ward. Everything email, WhatsApp, or you choose the way you want. Copies, printing, forget about something called printer. There is no printing in my ward. No printing. Don't waste ink. Don't waste papers. So everything is technology for me. If I put the schedule of the camp, because I'm the one who's creating the schedule of the whole trip. We have a FIBA World Cup games, or we have Asia games or GC games. I'm going to create the schedule. Everything is online based. Everything through websites, through email, through WhatsApp. No papers. Still, I see some teams, they're like the coaches, they are printing 100 pages for each player about the opponent team tactics, the stats, the numbers, the player profile, because they are preparing for the games. But our preparation is through iPads. I give each player an iPad, give you all the documents in this iPad. No more papers. Mm-hmm. So this is how I use technology with my journey.
That's a great example. I was really interested in hearing about your final project. It's so cool you get to do that for school, then also your job. But going through that project, kind of figuring out the details of it, what challenges have you faced in adapting to new technology and bringing that into the sport?
The biggest...
Other than the fact that the players want paper.
Exactly. This is what I want to say. If you have in your team players or staff that they are used on papers, you need time to work with them to take that out of their mind and insert the technology thing. Let's be honest together, these days technology is also at the same time being a negative thing, because where everyone can hack you, can crack your passwords, can do big problems, steal your money. They send you a link, they say you want something, and you click the link and everything disappears from your device. So as a cyber student, they don't trust me. They think that I'm a hacker. I said, I'm a good cyber student. I'm not a bad cyber student. They say, okay, prove it. When I send links, they are scared. They don't want to open it. So I say, guys, trust me. I'm not going to hack you. If I want to hack you, I have another ways to do it. I don't.
Yeah, you would have already done it by now.
So I'm next to you. I can just plug your phone to my laptop and destroy everything. So it's not about a link. I'm traveling with you guys. I'm being 1 month with you. The whole period, I can do something. So the trust and technology things, it's need time. Especially with the players, especially with the people that they don't have the knowledge of technology. Yeah. The difficulties that I face sometimes is development part. Because I'm working assistant of the chairman, because I was working as the executive director of the previous tournament. I need more time to develop some things. Because I'm not I'm not a Spider-Man or hero man or Superman. I'm a normal person. So I sometimes I feel tired. I finish university. I'm traveling with the national team. I'm working with the chairman directly. So these all things, I feel I don't have enough time to develop a software or develop a website for the national team. But I do my best. I pressure myself. I don't go out of home. I stay at the office until 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. And I develop something for the national team because I want the players to get used to use technology, to be part of this. Because even though we don't have the technologies that the others they are using in NBA and the EuroLeague, but we are doing it step by step. We're getting used to it. We are showing the kids how to, get involved in technology. Our youth national team, they love it. When I put everything in a website, the videos, the stats, because it's accessible. If I give everyone a paper and they lose it, there is no backup. I need to go and again print another copies. But if it's in your phone, you can watch it anywhere, anytime, and get used to it, So the difficulties I find is time management for developing things and to convince people to trust me. That's the two things.
Yeah. That's funny. I never thought of that before. But, yes. With all these new technologies, people don't know what to expect. And they're kind of hesitant about what to adopt and what to get used to. So I'm glad you brought that up because it's important to know. And just wrapping up, what would your advice be to people who are looking to get into sports, maybe on the technology side? What do you think they should look out for in the upcoming years?
I think they need to focus on how to develop the players using technology. Because in these days, you have a lot of things to do. For example, if I'm a coach and I don't have time to coach my player individually, like I'm going to coach the entire team, and then there's players they want to work individually, and I don't have time for that. Today, there is a lot of applications, a lot of communication channels where we can upload the videos of this of this certain practice or a certain exercise that the player needs to do. And the player can do it either at home or at the court. Doesn't matter. So I feel the coaches and the admins and the players, they need to get involved in technology a lot from this part on their development, where the coaches, they can control the players using the e-channels, control the meals, control the practices, control, I don't want to say their lives, but the other part on how they can be in shape, how they can be healthy, how they can work and get developed. There is machine guns these days that it's built in with the exercises. You can choose the exercise you want to do. It's going to help you. So he's the second coach in the court. I feel everyone needs to be involved in technology these days because technology is the future.
Yeah.
And bottom line, let's say, because technology is not only in basketball, it's not only in sports, in our lives, our mobile phones, the applications, the cars. Today I have a car that's parking by itself. So in the future, the car is going to drive, such as Tesla. The technology is taking a big part in the world. And if we don't follow the technology, we will feel like we're old and we are back 20, 30 years. I say to my colleagues in university, I said, what if we wasn't interested in computer science and cybersecurity and technology at all? How our lives is going to be? No communication channel, no mobile phones, only normal phone calls. So technology is a big part in this world. And if we don't follow it, we'll get lost.
Yeah, it certainly is unavoidable. And you're helping the team, kind of paving that way through technology, through your work, assistant to the chairman. You've helped bring the team from 108 to 67 in the world rankings in just a few years.
That's,
so obviously,
after this title, I think we're going to be 60 worldwide.
Okay. We'll check in on that, but I believe it can happen.
No, still they didn't update it, but they're going to update the rank.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've certainly proved yourself as a student in the industry. So thank you so much for sharing your story, and I had a great time speaking with you, Mohamed.
Thank you so much for hosting me. I want to thank everyone, Albert, Warren, the team behind this. I want to thank you. I want to just say the experience that I had with the SBC is going to stay in my memory for the entire life. And if one of the NBPA guys who met me in Abu Dhabi, he asked me about SBC and he said, do you recommend this for the Gulf region? I said, definitely I'm going to recommend this because it's going to help them to gain the knowledge of media, stats analysis, how to operate. I think one thing that we don't have in the Gulf region is the salary cap, that it's only an NBA thing, but it was an amazing experience to see how salary cap thing is being very effective. And this is what we need, because we have clubs here that they buy the players. If you buy strong players, you buy the championship title, basically. So the salary cap is stopping the teams from doing this in NBA. So I want to thank everyone for giving me this experience. And I want to just share one last thing. In the last month, as executive director and as assistant of the chairman, I had a third position, which it was secret. I want to share it with you. I was with Jaylen Brown in Bahrain in his summer camp. So I was arranging everything for JB. When he scored his first shot in Abu Dhabi, I said, JB, this was because of me. I was with you 1 month. So his entire summer thing was here in Bahrain. So why I'm saying this? Because I want to say that Bahrain and basketball is top in the Gulf region. And we're such a player as an MVP player of finals. Jaylen Brown is his second year in Bahrain doing the summer camp. And that was the third position I had to work with him from 9 in the morning until 2 a.m. So,
oh my gosh.
Plus this, it was a new pressure on me from the chairman. So I feel like I did my part, and JB is really good player, hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
That was the third position I had and no one knows about.
Well, congratulations, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish next.
Thank you so much. Thank you for hosting me. Take care.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our VSL Talent Alumni Series with SBC alum Mohamed Haji. I hope you enjoyed hearing about his introduction to the sports world and learned something new about what it takes to jumpstart your career in the sports industry. Make sure to share this episode with your friends, family, colleagues, and anyone else interested in the business of sports. Please like us on social media, subscribe, and leave a review. You can find the show notes at sportsbusinessclassroom.com. Let us know if you listened, and if you enjoyed the episode, tag us on your Instagram story at Sports Business Classroom. Text it to a friend and spread the news of this year's SBC Business of Basketball Immersive Experience. This episode is also brought to you by Hall Pass Media, a full-service marketing agency that specializes in brand consulting, event management, digital marketing, and creative design. For more information on Hall Pass Media, go to hallpassnetwork.com.